to the madhouse.
Cheers to episode number 16.
Cheers.
We are recording. Oh, this is my first time. I'm drinking wine tonight.
So am I.
For a snake draft happening later tonight.
Stay tuned.
Wine. I had a shot
Of
of
what?
Dr. McGill.
Where is our Dr. McGillicuddy sponsorship after Evan pumps their tires every week?
Non-existent.
Where is it?
Because you don't bring enough fans to the podcast.
Yeah, it's probably just because of me, honestly.
We are recording at 7:14 p.m. on Tuesday, April 20th, 2021. And happy 420, guys.
It's
You guys-
420.
you guys-
Let's go.
Did you guys hit any reefer today? You smoked that ganj?
Yep.
That
Just
wacky
right at my-
tobacco.
That Mary
That
Jane?
devil's lettuce.
Yes. At my desk. Just the whole office was just getting down to 420 today. No.
There was some...
No, you can't do that at work, Grant.
I was listening to the radio today, driving around for a little bit, and there were some radio hosts today that you could tell were super awkwarded out still by weed and it being legal. They were struggling to even say the phrase "get high." Like they hesitated. Like, can I say?
Are we allowed to talk about this?
Did I get high? Like what? You get the munchies? You snack on things? Like yeah, it's illegal. Okay, I won't say. I know for a fact none of the three of us are like potheads by any means. I think I haven't even done it that much in my entire life. But you can talk about it like it's normal now. It's not some taboo subject.
Oh, Grant. It's called the devil's lettuce.
The wacky tobacco.
The devil's lettuce.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. It's also kind of weird when people I kind of cringe though when people say happy 420. It's just kind of lame. I don't know.
It is lame.
I don't get it.
It's definitely lame.
We
I
can't-
heard today why it's called 420.
Why?
Well, I heard two theories, I guess. One is that, when the police are called for a drug bust, it's called a 420.
Oh.
I got a 420.
I believe that. You don't even need to give them the second
The
one.
second one is that kids after school used to go with their friends, after school, so around 420 to go smoke. Hey man, meet you at 420 in the courtyard.
I don't buy that because
I like the police one much better too.
We can get out. I mean, I know that maybe back in the day, but we got
345 in elementary school, so if you're a young lettuce smoker.
If you're hitting a joint in elementary school, your parents probably should be locked up at that point.
It would be questionable.
Yeah, that would cause some brain damage.
Yeah.
So besides the national holiday, what's new with you guys?
Evan, you can go first this time. I always go first.
I like you going first. That way I don't have to tell my boring life.
That's why you're going first this time.
We celebrated your birthday over the weekend.
Who's?
You had your birthday yesterday.
Who did?
There was a group of us that celebrated.
No,
Alex's
Posted
birthday.
on
Whose
our
birthday?
social media accounts. That it was your birthday.
right,
Alex.
right. Doesn't matter after you turn 21, guys. Doesn't matter. Birthdays are irrelevant.
That was a good time. Had golf last night, and it was probably one of the most miserable golf experiences of my life.
Why?
It was cold and raining, and that was the first time I picked up my golf clubs all year, and I sucked. And
What'd you
was
shoot?
it worth it to drive an hour or so to go play 9 holes of golf?
Dude,
No.
No comment.
Sounds like a no.
It was a no.
What'd you shoot?
Not good.
What'd you shoot, Evan?
No comment. I'm not saying my number.
55.
No.
I didn't even add it up, so sure.
Evan, you guys set the bar super low. That way.
I'm just increasing my handicap for later on this year. I like it.
It's a great play.
Are the people in the
My
league
team got destroyed.
Oh, I didn't
22
know
to
that.
8. Like, there's 30 points total you can get
22
in the
to
match,
8,
and we only took 8.
It's not great.
Any lessons you're going to take into your next round from this debacle?
Pray for better weather.
Hit the ball straight.
Good start.
Yeah, I think that should be it.
Aim high, let it fly.
Grip and let it rip.
Alex?
When in doubt, whip it out.
I did the same thing as Evan in the last few days because, we partied together for my birthday. And
Right.
And then I golfed on my birthday in the same golf league as Evan. So my golf round, we have a little more detail than Evan. So same conditions. I started 1 under through the first 4 holes and chipped in. So I was like, wow, it's my birthday. It's my
On what
lucky
hole?
day. I chipped in that. I started on number 6. and I chipped in on 9 to make the turn to 1, which is a par 5. And I'm like, oh, we got this. Laced the drive down the middle on 1. Then I topped my second shot, made a bogey on 1.
What'd you go, like a long iron?
Tried to hit a 4-iron, got a little cocky. I was like, wow, I'm stroking it for the first time
I
in
am
months.
Dustin Johnson.
And then on hole 2, I topped my drive, made it past the women's tee by half a yard. Saved a bogey, so that works. 3, same result, another bogey because another bad shot. 4, a 3-putt bogey, so I had a 7-footer for birdie and blew that. And then on the very last hole of my round, I hit a drive into the woods that kicked out back into the fairway, so a blessing. And I don't have my distances dialed in, I guess. On the next shot, I hit it over the green into the woods and made it triple. So I shot a 42 after I was 1 under through 4.
Yikes.
But, at least I padded the handicap at the end.
And you got a birdie,
Yeah, and I didn't skin it because Evan's partner, who was subbing, also chipped in on the same hole as me. Which
No
is
way.
unbelievably shocking.
That is a small world, as they say.
In terms of points, we took 14.5 out of 30. So we technically lost by a point.
So pretty close.
My partner had quite the letdown.
And the league is young. All right, well that's like riveting content. I can't wait to see how it evolves. For me, similar to you guys, we did the same thing over the weekend.
Yep.
My takeaway, I don't know how you guys felt. I think I would never say the W word, washed.
Oh, wow.
I wouldn't say that. I would say my hangovers are evolving as I get older. I'm still always able to get up in the morning, like fine and like ready to go. But my hangover didn't really go away until 8 p.m. on Sunday. Like I used to always think people were crazy when they said they felt like their hangover in their legs, like they had like their legs were sore. My legs were sore for like most of Sunday, and it was like an inflammation type pain. Like, what is all this alcohol and stuff you put in your body, and it's like inflamed your whole body? That was a weird experience. And then it was just like nausea like later in the day, so just the whole length of the hangover was longer. I still prefer that to like a short, quick one, because like when I'm not getting like pounding headaches, but I didn't like that like knocked my whole Sunday, back a while. But that's what Sundays are for a lot of times, so it's pretty fun.
I can safely say I didn't really feel hungover at all Sunday.
That's because you don't drink very much.
Monday, well, that's not true. Well, maybe it's true. Depends what side you're on of drinking.
Wow.
But on Monday, I'll agree, I woke up, got out of my bed, and my legs and feet were just like throbbing. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? I can't move around. It feels like I was on a 8-day bender and I drank for 1 day. So maybe we're getting old.
Maybe.
As you told everyone,
you are.
as you told everyone there that I'm turning like 30 years old.
Yeah,
Just so everyone knows, I turned 24 now.
Classic. I'd be like, hey, 28th birthday. Cheers to Alex. Other thing was I had a drink. It was like Bacardi lime and mint. Like
It was
seltzer.
a mojito. It was a Bacardi mojito seltzer.
So good.
Phenomenal.
One of the best drinks I've ever
So
had.
refreshing.
Take my man card if you want. I don't care.
Really good.
I drink a lot of Bud Light, so it balances out.
Did you?
I did. I bought a 15er of Bud Light.
How many did you have?
At least 10. Don't hurt me, I know.
Just try not to hurt anybody when you drink, okay?
What else? Today itself for me, got a haircut. As you guys can see, Alex probably despises it.
Looks all right.
It's a good experience. It was actually a small world. The lady that cut my hair was from, had a summer house in the Irish Hills, which is near where we grew up. So we talked about that.
What lake?
Loch Erin. So very close to us. So that was small world. Got my groceries today. That was always great. Supposed to be when you're listening to this, depending on when you listen, I might have my first round of my vaccine, the cocoa vaccine. I don't know if it's Moderna or Pfizer, but I'm supposed to be getting it tomorrow.
I got mine on Friday.
All right,
I've had mine for a while. Not a big deal.
not a big deal. Then double vax for a while, and then 3 of us collectively. Again, when maybe you're listening, we may have seen our first Tigers game in
But
person.
probably not, because it's supposed to dump snow, which is dumping right
it's
now.
Dumping
It's going
today.
on right now. It's
Yeah,
going to be
don't-
clear
Did
tomorrow.
you know, Evan, that our game tomorrow that we're going to is only 7 innings?
Yeah, because it's a doubleheader.
You
6:40. We're in and out of that.
You are on
So when
top
you're
of things.
when you're listening, we might already be on the way back from the Tigers game, depending on when you listen
and
to this.
Grant will be half vaccinated, and the Tigers will have won
I think we're gonna see.
because they're playing a worse team.
I think we're
than
gonna see
them.
Turnbull make his debut.
Really
I
are. We're
think we're
supposed
seeing
to.
Spencer Turnbull make his debut.
I'm bringing my baseball glove. Are you guys?
No, I'm bringing a foam finger.
I'm bringing a Sharpie and my baseball glove.
And then, well, it's your birthday. You need an autograph.
I'm going at 3 p.m. to watch batting practice. Oh wait, there's a game. I can't.
That's right.
I'll be there at 8 a.m. for batting
Oh,
practice.
I wonder. Doesn't even need a podcast, but like I wonder how late in the stadium's gonna work. Like if we get there early enough, do we get to catch?
Do we
the
get to
first
watch
game?
2 games?
Probably not.
Bargain for our buck in the 30-degree
But
weather.
mental note to us that we need to. I'm bundling up tomorrow. Like I'm going skiing. There's
Do
no
we
doubt
get
about
2
that.
innings off the price? It feels like we should. Or do
It's
we
too
get
late for that.
Or do we
already
catch
called
the
it.
last 2 innings of the first game in order to make up for the 2 missed?
I'll take that
innings?
deal. The last thing I have before we get into actual sports, well, this is sports, but more pop culture, is I'm a fool. Hand up, I trusted Ben Askren this weekend, despite one of our friends telling us that Jake Paul would win the whole entire day. Said
Really?
no. He
Like,
said,
very
he
persistent.
said Ben Askren looks like a sack of potatoes. I said he might. I haven't seen the photos. Turns out he did look like a sack of white potatoes.
Milk bag.
And yeah, some were saying it was a dive. I don't know. I think he just got knocked out, and he was like cool with it.
Well, I heard him talking on a podcast today, and it says he just got.
Wait, you listen to other podcasts other than this? The #1 podcast?
no,
in
it was
Michigan?
my other podcast.
Oh,
I just don't want to promote.
Evan,
it.
did you know about this?
But yeah, I talked to Ben Askren today, and he said he got punched in the perfect spot on the behind his ear, which causes equilibrium to go, which caused him to go down. Because everyone was like, "Oh, because Jorge Masvidal like beat his face in once, and he got up." But he took one shot from a YouTube.
There's not a question mark at the end of Jorge Masvidal's name.
I was just wondering if I pronounced it right.
Yeah.
No idea.
Evan, as the show's representative of the wrestling community, are you embarrassed by Ben Askren's
Evan,
performance?
don't act like you didn't wrestle for 5th grade.
7th grade.
Sorry,
Thank you.
even better.
You are the resident
Mike.
wrestling expert.
Am I shocked by the outcome? No, because
Embarrassed.
boxing's a way different fight than UFC. One good punch can knock out anybody.
Well, I don't think I could knock out Floyd Mayweather with one punch.
No, you definitely couldn't. I could.
In a fair fight, one punch can knock out anybody.
No, Evan.
Maybe behind the ear, like you said.
Yes, if you find that little equilibrium spot with your big boxing glove.
I said
And
a
you
fair
throw-
fight. So that fair fight is like somebody comparable to you, Alex.
So if I was fighting
Like, the
like
greatest
a-
boxer of all time, you're not going to get in the ring
So
with him.
Alex versus Macaulay Culkin. Macaulay Culkin, I think, is fair.
why would you say him?
I think you guys are similar comps.
It's disrespectful, man.
Steven Izzo or Jack Hoiberg.
Oh, Steven?
Steven.
It's little. We know who you would
I'm
fight.
just kidding. I don't have a problem. with
we
Dave Brown
know who
fighting.
you would fight.
Who?
The golfer. You're like direct comp.
The golfer. Oh, Will Zalatoris.
You're-
Zalatoris.
You're fighting
Yes.
and losing to Will Zalatoris.
No, he does have a lot of torque in his hips. He probably can get some power behind that. There's similar actions, in the golf hips and the boxing hips.
Who's Evans comp? Nate Robinson?
No, who's the guy?
Why did my ass kicked?
Who's the guy? That's
Who's
not
the guy?
descriptive enough for me to know what you're talking about.
Renner? Who's the actor? Evan?
Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner.
I think
Jimmy Renner.
he'd kick your ass, Evan. He was in a Bourne
Yeah,
movie.
he would.
He was in a Bourne movie?
And he's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Grant.
He's
Well,
Hawkeye.
Evan's winning then.
Yeah, all he does is shoot arrows. Grant's not a Marvel guy, so he doesn't understand anything.
All
about
Evan
it.
does is shoot fists and face.
Evan's never fought anyone in his life.
Wrong. But he also actually wrestled, knows technique.
He did know technique.
All right, you guys want to go to sports? Because as we saw from the last episode, Evan is fired up about the draft.
I would rather not talk about sports today.
I know, you're a draft Debbie Downer. You don't like football.
Yeah, I think it's just because I'm a loser.
You'd rather talk about the European Soccer League, probably.
No, let's talk cricket. Let's talk swim and dive.
Let's talk the NFL draft, okay?
I'm joking.
Jeez. My first question before we get to our mock draft, which is what we're going to do. I guess it's too late to tease it, but we're going to do a live mock draft of the first round of the NFL draft. Did you guys have any changes in your thoughts from last week because I think that's a recurring theme with everyone that follows football is that your draft thoughts are very fluid, like water from week to week. Sometimes you're high on a guy, sometimes you're low on a guy. High on a guy, get it 420. No,
Mine changed.
No pun intended.
Mine changed.
On what and who?
Well, I
And why?
said like,
When?
well, it was really after Evan talked that I changed my mind.
Look at you, Evan, influencing minds.
Because I said Jamar Chase if Sewell wasn't there was what I would want the Lions to do, even though I was really like tiptoeing around it. But how Evan was assertive and said, you know what? I don't care what people think. I'm taking Micah Parsons at 7. I am fully on that train if the Lions stay at 7, that I would much rather just have Parsons than any skill position player. So that's where I've switched. I wouldn't settle for Jamar Chase, even though it's probably not settling. It'll probably be pretty good. But I would just take Parsons at 7 and deal with the haters later.
So you want the defense shored up?
I really do. Yeah. And that's what I said in the original way back whenever we talked about it. So I don't know
You've
why.
gone full circle.
So I'm not sure why I
A
pivoted.
trip around the sun.
But I'm back and I'm staying here
Evan,
until next week.
any changes on? Did you leave the Parsons train?
I will not leave the Parsons train at 7. I watched a Luke Kuechly college highlight montage today.
Nice.
He was taken at number 9
Mm-hmm.
by the Panthers, so pretty close. But from reading into it and seeing stuff, I think the Lions are going to trade back.
So that's your new.
I think it's-
how confident?
I would say 75% sure the Lions will trade back.
It's pretty.
But a bold statement, if the Lions don't trade back, I wouldn't be shocked if we drafted Slater over everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that.
I like that.
I've been seeing a lot of that, which is kind of shocking. I mean, he's projected somewhere in the 7 to 13, 15 range. So it's a high end of his projections, but you're
Yeah.
passing a lot of players before him.
We would definitely be probably the earliest he would go. We're in that kind of spot.
I just heard this today. I didn't realize it at the time. I said also last week I didn't know a lot about Slater, but he sat out Grant last year. And I listened to you on our podcast say that you were okay with taking him. But I've heard you say multiple times you are against players that sat out. So could you please explain?
It's a catch-22.
Okay.
Sewell also sat out too.
I heard that as well.
And Chase and Parsons.
All
So
of
at
these
some
guys.
point, you
So-
get to a point. I think it's more just because of. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I think it's the O-lineman bias where I'm willing just to take that chance against them. Maybe it's because they're not asked to be so athletically flashy. I don't know. It's a great question. I don't even know my own brain.
A lot of the players that sat out tested very well.
Here's one thing I should say is I don't trust any of the tests this year because they're all done at your home camps. Obviously, they're not going to be way off, but I'm taking a 4-3 with a grain of salt on a lot of issues. Alex, is something on your phone more important than the show?
My mom texted me, so I have to respond. I think that's reasonable.
Call her.
For the whole
Let's just air it
podcast?
out on the pod.
Sorry, man.
You can text your mom whenever you want on the show. It's just, it's hard to focus when you're not focused.
I haven't missed a beat.
I want you to be invested. I haven't missed a beat.
I really have.
My thoughts. I did some QB, D&D, some deep diving, due diligence, as they say in the stock market world. The gap between Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence is microscopic in my mind. I don't think there's a clear. I wouldn't be surprised if Zach Wilson was easily the best quarterback in this draft. I should get there's a YouTube channel that has all their throws and runs from seasons. So if you YouTube that, shout out that guy, whoever puts that all together. It's great stuff. I think Fields is much better than Lance and ready to start. Lance could be better eventually, but Lance didn't impress me watching him. Fields, I've watched up close and on tape. I know he's struggled in some games, but dude, he balled out against Clemson in a game where he broke his ribs almost. So that game alone, that's incredible what he did there. So I know he can play in the big games. Basically, just quarterback thoughts. I'm a little bit higher on Slater. I think Slater can start right away and be better than Sewell, but Sewell's ceiling is probably much higher just because he's more of an athletic freak. But Slater, people forget that Slater absolutely clamped Chase Young in a football game. And Chase Young is one of the best edge rushers of all time.
I don't think clamped.
No, he did. I watched it today.
I heard that it wasn't full clamp. I also didn't watch you probably watched the highlights of him, and they probably only showed, because no highlight tape is showing the bad.
Let's just say Chase Young did not have a big impact on that football game. With Rashawn Slater lined up over him for
Maybe.
double-digit plus snaps.
It could also
And
be
he handled them pretty well.
alone.
And Chase Young's going to be one of the best edge rushers in the league for years to come. So even if he's not facing, like, he's not going to be facing guys that good every single week. So I think he can hold his own pretty easily.
Often.
And he was alone. He never got a double team in the clips I watched.
The clips that you watched is the ginormous, like,
I guess if you want, when we start the mock draft, you could go, when we talk about him, you could go look up how many sacks or pressures.
I'm not saying
tackles.
it's not good.
Because we could just look at his stats and say, I guess he could have blown up a
We
play.
could end this argument because it's irrelevant.
That's a very
draft.
big part.
Let's draft.
I think we should draft too, but I'm just telling you how my thoughts have changed.
Number 1 overall pick.
So how this is going to work, if people want to follow along, whatnot, if you want to do your draft along with ours, we're using Pro Football Focus PFF Mock Draft Simulator. No free ads to them, but honestly, it's a great website, and it's probably the easiest way to do mock drafts, I think. We are going to...
If anybody has a spot they really want to be in, they can just.
We're gonna do a snake draft format of how we're gonna do this. We're all gonna work together for the Lions pick. We're gonna move through it decently fast. I mean, there's no like super long on the clock, and we should clarify for everyone listening: this draft is who we think these teams should take, not what we think these teams will do. So we're not in the Mel Kiper McShay business of saying like grade our picks post-draft and say, oh, they were the closest to what happened. That's not what we're going for. We're going for who we think good players are and where they should go. And if we were GMs for these teams, they should take our advice and draft good players. And no trades are allowed to happen in this hypothetical draft. I think I laid out everything.
Bingo.
Okay, so I have a number 1 through 5 in my head. Alex, say a number.
4.
Evan, say a number.
2.
Okay, you guys are the same distance
So
away.
you picked 3. You picked the middle
Yeah.
number. Why would you do
So
that?
now I have a new number 1 through 10 in my head.
5.
7.
Your
Alex,
math skills are really
Alex
strong
is
here.
closer. You get to choose where you want to draft.
I will go 2.
You get the second pick in the draft. Since Evan voices wishes, Evan, you can take the third pick in the draft.
Thank you.
And I'll go 1.
Well, let's do the damn thing.
So I'm clicking start draft down here.
Already
It
did.
Looks like there's no time, so that's good. Looking at my big board, I am taking Trevor Lawrence here. I know I just talked about how the gap's not that close, but I think Trevor Lawrence's overall body of work deserves to be taken first. And he just kind of has that look of being a great quarterback. You know, he's super tall, got the hair, he's got the attribute to him. I know there was an article about maybe he doesn't love the game of football that much. I think that's malarkey and just smoke screens. He's obviously awesome, played at a big level school. Trevor Lawrence with the first pick in the draft.
With the second pick in the NFL draft, Zach Wilson will be headed to the Jets. I think they need a quarterback. I've also said I don't like Zach Wilson, but he is definitely...
They definitely need a quarterback now, so don't say think. They do.
He's clear and away the second best quarterback, so he goes 2.
Evan, quick pitch on Zach Wilson because that is your guy, so it's only right if you could just say a couple of nuggets about him.
Extremely efficient passer.
He is underrated, a little on the smaller size, but I think the height really thing doesn't really matter in the NFL anymore. Good mobility, great throwing on the move, and he's got a strong arm. Talented enough. He's kind of like the pretty boy.
Yep.
I mean, he only played at BYU, so the competition is low, and the one competition he did face this past year, he struggled against him.
Freshman.
Well, I think he will translate to the NFL decently. With the Jets, however, I don't know.
A good point. Situation matters in all of these because you could be a great quarterback, but go to a terrible situation and it'll go bad. My thoughts on him after watching his tape: can make throws that you don't think can happen. Like he's already got the no look game down. Like everyone keeps saying like, oh, he's like has shades of guys like Mahomes and Rodgers. It sucks to slap a label on a guy like that, but he does make throws that those guys have made in the NFL. You're like, wow, that's impressive. Will it translate to the NFL? I don't know. The weirdest thing about him is he wasn't a captain, but people seem to make it think that he's not like a jerk. So I think maybe that was just more smoke than anything. He seemed like a good teammate. And also at BYU, they have like 27-year-olds that play on their football team, so it's hard not to make those guys captains. His freshman year, he battled for the job. Sophomore year, he got hurt. And then junior year, he was fully healthy and balled out. So I think he's pretty good. Good pick, Alex.
There's a lot of analysis, guys, for a no doubter, clear number 2 pick.
But this is our time to talk about prospects. Obviously, as we go later in the draft, I don't know as much about guys, but we might as well get our thoughts about guys we have real thoughts about.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Now Evan picks 2 in a row.
Yeah, Evan goes now.
2 in a row. This is a snake. He goes 2 in a row.
Oh yeah, he fell into the
I
fourth.
messed that up. LOL. I should pick first. Oh, shoot. All right, so number 3 pick, I have the 49ers taking
number 3rd
Justin Fields.
Good pick.
Great pick, Evan.
There's a lot of smoke out there saying that the 49ers are going to draft Mac Jones instead.
So much.
But I think there's,
Macklemore Jones.
I mean, every mock draft you're going to look at probably has Mac Jones going to the 49ers besides a couple. But I think there's probably going to be 1 or 2 talking heads in that front office that are going to just have more voice, and they're saying, no, we're drafting Justin Fields. Another thing is, do you really trade all those picks and move up these many spots to draft Mac Jones? I mean, he was productive last year, but is he a sexy pick? I don't think so.
No.
If he's your
This is a
guy, he's
that
your
can
guy.
play average.
People forget Mac Jones got a DUI in college. Not that it matters.
2 of them.
Yeah, 2. But
Also, the
There
Bears.
are some funny pictures of Mac Jones in the locker room afterwards. Like, dude, this guy does not play quarterback.
He's
he
a
just
milk
has
bag.
like a dad bod,
I know.
not really
it's crazy how good
anything
he is.
going on for him.
What are the odds you think that, Alex, that they take Mac Jones?
Well, I just think back to when the Bears traded all the way up to 2 to take Mitchell Trubisky,
Mm-hmm.
which there was
They
some
didn't
good.
trade all the way up to 2. They just flip-flop picks.
Well, they gave up a lot for the second pick to take a quarterback that no one was expecting them to take. So would I be shocked if the 49ers did a similar thing where they move up to a top 3 pick and then take a guy that you wouldn't take usually? No, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
All right. Evan? The Dirty Birds. You fell into this pick you didn't want.
Correct.
You can phone a friend if you want. I'll do it.
Phone me. I have a great pick for
No,
you.
it's okay. I've already made the selection.
Wow.
I think this is where like the draft starts because 1, 2, and 3 is going to be a quarterback no matter what.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would say 3,
The
though.
4th
'cause
pick.
I
I
would
don't
say
think the quarterback is guaranteed at 3.
No,
Alex?
I guess, I mean,
You never know.
I think in my mind it starts at 3 because if Jones does get taken there, I think it's like people are going to be calling left and right to try to get Fields or Lance, and then the Lions could get, I don't know, I think that's where like things could get crazy, I guess. But I see your point. I see
Crazy
your
at
point.
3, but the 49ers aren't moving all the way up there.
I'm not saying the
Drafting position.
49ers aren't taking the quarterback. I just know the Jets are the Jets. Who knows? They
No,
could do
they're taking
something
a
crazy.
quarterback. The Jets could
They
take
don't
Justin
have a
Fields.
quarterback on their roster.
Yeah.
No, Evan. I know they need one, and I
They
know
will
they
take
should
quarterback.
take one. But there's
Quarterbacks are going
No,
first 3.
There's
I'm just saying.
inept franchises. You never know what could happen. But realistically, it's 99% chance that they will take a quarterback.
Let Evan draft for the Dirty Birds.
We'll pick all
I
right.
have them taking Kyle Pitts.
I love that. That's what I'd take.
I disagree.
Everybody is falling in love with him based off of his tape and him running the 40-yard dash and his measurables. And I think this is a replacement for Julio Jones, who is injury prone the last couple of years, and it's just an easy way for them to move on from Julio Jones and start the rebuild offensively.
And I think if you look at right now, if you look at their needs on PFF, obviously I'm going to trust the guys at PFF. It's all defensive guys we're looking at, and there's no one that good that should be taken 4 in this draft at those positions. So it's kind of either they're going to trade out, but we're not doing. I could easily see this being a trade out, but we're not doing trades. And I think Pitts is the best option for them because their offense will be disgusting, and they're going to keep riding out the back years of Matt Ryan. So I like it, Evan.
I could easily see the Falcons going in the shocking but not surprising quarterback direction.
I don't think so.
Matt Ryan's, I don't think they really want him there anymore.
He's one of the better, most productive quarterbacks
He's getting
in
old.
the league.
Grant, he's getting old. And Matthew Stafford was that same way, wasn't he?
And they didn't draft a quarterback, so boom, see ya.
Because of inept GMs. GM and head coach.
Those exist.
You can't move on from Matt Ryan because of his contract. Who's taking the $40+ million?
They
from
could
Matt
take a
Ryan.
project, and
Thanks,
take Trey
Evan.
Lance and just have him go under a year of Matt Ryan.
Thank
I
you,
don't think
Evan.
that's out of the question.
Then you're spending $60 million on your cap on 2 quarterbacks.
They're not going to
and
win this
one's
year
not playing.
anyways. Doesn't matter.
Thanks, Evan.
There was
Penei
only one fit
Sewell,
for Matt
number
Ryan.
5
There was
pick
only
to
one
the
fit for Matt Ryan,
Bengals.
and it was the 49ers, and they're drafting third. Sorry.
I'm not telling you.
It seems like you're advocating for it.
Yeah, I could see it. I could totally see it. And I wouldn't be that mad as a Falcons fan. Matt Ryan's clearly not your future. So,
He's right now, though.
well, Jared Goff's the Lions right now, and we might take a quarterback too. You never know. Penei Sewell, 5th pick to the Bengals. don't need to say much other than if you want your new flashy quarterback that you just drafted #1 overall to live, you need offensive linemen. So
Nice.
I would draft Sewell.
6 here. Me?
Well, hold on, Grant. Sorry.
You
Did
disagree
you
with
guys see
that
the
too?
picture of Joe Burrow and like flexing his uniform, the Bengals new uniforms?
I saw.
But I didn't notice anything about it.
People were tweeting about it because there's a picture of him sitting down in a chair with like his one leg up, and he has a nasty scar from his ACL surgery on the front of your knee. And it's like, this picture should describe everything what the Bengals should be doing in the draft.
That's great.
Yeah, it's a
selling
pretty
point.
obvious choice, I think, for them. So I'd be shocked if they
Like
messed
you
it
weren't.
up.
I would not be shocked if they did a classic Bengals move and took a wide out here. I wouldn't be shocked.
We're not doing that.
I know, but we can give commentary. You just did it for the Falcons,
Agreed.
so why can't I? Are you different than me?
I don't disagree with you, though. You guys were like, shoot me in the face because I thought the Falcons
You
could
just
take
said
a
I would
quarterback.
be shocked if they don't. I said I would not be shocked.
I'd be shocked if they're that stupid. But then again,
I
I
would
would
not
be
be
shocked.
shocked.
I would never be shocked in the draft. I've
You're
seen
in a
some
mental pretzel. Right
crazy stuff happens on draft night. It's
now.
fine.
All right, the Dolphins traded up for this pick, right? So
Yes, with Philadelphia.
I guess I'm just gonna go with reunite Tua with his buddy Devonta Smith
You.
and let it ride.
What?
I just think it'd be awesome. I think they should do that. Great chemistry. Won the Heisman Trophy.
What?
Yeah. I mean, I know the smoke is like Jamar Chase is unreal, but Devonta Smith has played this year and was a historic receiver, and they have chemistry. So I think that'd be a nasty combo in Miami. And I think they need to get back to a 4 verticals offense with Tua to be good.
No comment. Other than that, it's a terrible pick.
Best wide receiver in college football is a bad pick there.
He's not the best.
Oh, he is.
He's the best because someone didn't play.
He would have still won the Heisman Trophy.
Maybe.
All right, we all get to work together now. The 7th pick, we have to take a pick.
So what? How do we do? How are we doing this? How are we going to get to the pick? Because we're all going to disagree.
If 2 people agree on a name, then that guy gets picked.
All right, so let's just go in a circle and just say who you want without any background and see if we say 2 of the same people. And if we do, then the pick's done. And then we can provide explanation on that.
I think they should take Rashawn Slater here.
I think the Lions should take Micah Parsons.
I think the Lions should take Micah Parsons.
Okay.
So the
Micah
Lions are
Parsons
taking Micah Parsons.
is drafted here at 7 to shore up the defense. And then me, right? Because I picked first, and then it goes back to Alex. Yeah. So 8, we have the Panthers. They traded for Darnold. Some people would say that they should take Lance. I disagree. I'm looking at their needs.
Everything.
They have DJ Moore, and
Robbie Anderson.
Robbie Anderson.
Curtis Samuel has walked.
I guess with the talent level here, and he's ranked 6 on the big board, I'll take Jamar Chase for them. Reunite him with Joe Brady and really dive into your offense. If it doesn't work with Darnold, then I guess he'll be back here next year and can draft a quarterback then. So 9 goes to Alex.
Yep. I think the Broncos need a quarterback. And they're not taking Trey Lance because he's more of a project. So quite a surprise. They're going to draft Mac Jones at 9.
Wow. So people might say now that Trey Lance might be our falling guy of the draft.
Someone's going to fall. It always happens.
Someone has to fall. They have to fall.
So Davin?
Did Matt Jones go into the Broncos?
Yeah.
Yep.
And now Jerry Jones is on the clock. Does he go flashy Jalen Waddle? Or does he
Jerry Jones. Oh my gosh, he could.
He
He
would-
would,
But Davin, you have to do what you think they should do. Not what Jerry Jones would
Right, but
Jerry Jones is a wild man. They need secondary help. They need defensive help. You're drafting the best corner in the
do.
draft.
No.
Is he deserving of the 10th pick? I
No.
don't know, but they're drafting Patrick Surtain the second.
No disagreement.
you usually can't go wrong with Alabama defensive players. You usually can't.
Usually.
Like 80%.
Usually.
Right? I mean,
Who's that cornerback from Alabama that went to the Jets that was garbage? I mean, he was like a big-time name. And he sucked. I thought Evan would have that. I guess he did.
I don't know. Evan is on the clock again for Dave Gettleman and the Giants. The G-Men.
Dave Gettleman and the Giants.
Take.
Wow. I see a tackle, guard, or edge as their needs.
I see
So
a guy.
I'm gonna go Rashawn Slater
Great pick. Right where he's
for the
ranked.
Giants. They drafted an offensive lineman last year. Sure enough, they had offensive line for Saquon and
Said
for
Rashawn.
Danny Dimes.
Slater.
Mike Valenti would love that pick. Good stuff, Evan.
I hope you would. Hey, Mike, hire us.
The bad Alabama corner that I was thinking of was D. Milner.
Oh. How high was he taken?
I think like 13th.
Oh, that's a bad pick then. I
He
never
sucked.
don't even remember that guy.
To the Eagles. This is a no-brainer pick. They have no one at receiver. Like, no one. That's good.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to go to Rashad Bateman. So, Jalen Waddle has injury problems, but explosive and could be really good.
I like that pick for them a lot.
You too.
A lot.
Former teammate now.
Former teammate, Jalen Hurts.
So now I'm on the clock for the Chargers.
And Trey Lance is
Our-
falling.
Offensive coordinator's former team.
Yep.
I'm looking at their needs. I don't know a ton about them. I know their defense always has injuries. Like, can I get Derwin James healthy? They'd be sick. They found their quarterback, who the Lions should have taken last year. You know, because
Yeah.
imagine how fun it'd be to have Justin Herbert in the wings waiting with all that talent. Looks like they need a tackle, and I see a tackle ranked at 15. I don't know a ton about this guy, so I have no analysis, but we're going to take Christian Darrisaw out of Virginia Tech to shore up our offensive line, similar to Joe Burrow. Think Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. Don't get those guys hurt.
Back to me? Or
No, me.
You again.
So now the Vikings also need some help on the offensive line. They don't need a QB in my mind. I see a safety. I've watched this guy's highlight tape. Trevon Moehrig, I'll just say it like that. Safety out of TCU. Guy's awesome. Ball hawk. Taking him for, and he gets to go from purple to purple. So that's beautiful.
Patriots here at 15. I think they really wanted Mac Jones, and
For
unfortunately,
recurring guest Cody Wilkins, this is for him.
unfortunately, it looks like Trey Lance fell to Bill. Maybe Bill goes in a different direction here. Trust Jarrett Stidham, Cam Newton again. No, Trey Lance to the Pats.
Great stuff. I was about to trade up from you for my Washington pick. I'm just kidding. I like that spot for him, actually. I think we're doing a good job.
It's probably one of the best fits for him. He'd be sitting out or sitting under Cam Newton in that
For 2
system for a
games.
year. And then when the Patriots move on, it kind of just goes to the same scheme with Trey Lance, a mobile quarterback. He's got a better arm than Cam Newton now. And so I think that would be a good fit for him. And plus what the Patriots did in the offseason with adding the tight ends, I think that's an easy transition with a young quarterback.
Like a higher ceiling Jacoby Brissett.
I think he's a lot better than Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, like he had, like I think his floor could be like, but they're kind of similar builds, and he played for the Pats for a little bit.
I
so-
think Trey Lance could be quite a project. I'm not sold on him, but he fell to
he
15.
did throw
in our
0
draft
picks
rating.
1 year, which is impressive.
Evan, I think it's
He
your
had 40 touchdowns and no interceptions one year.
That's
pretty
pretty
impressive.
awesome.
Alex.
Pretty nice.
It's college football.
It's decent.
I got the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Love it. I wouldn't be shocked. Okay, position to need. We're talking about position to need.
I mean,
what they
I think
should
like,
do. What
this
they
is
should
a
do.
slam
What they
dunk,
should do
I
is draft J.C. Horn. Patrick Peterson has moved on. They need secondary help. I'm drafting Dare, the cornerback out of South Carolina.
I would have
for-
went
I
different.
think it was Richard Sherman who said he thinks he's the best cornerback in the draft. He's like really tall.
You did
And
say that.
this
The son
kid has
of the Saints
flown
receiver.
up the draft boards recently. I've seen him as high as 10 or 9 recently.
Wow.
Maybe 7 to Detroit.
And some people have him.
Shut
Some
up.
people have him going as the first corner over Surtain. So I wouldn't be shocked if he's the first corner taken.
Can't stop Kyle Pitts though.
Back to me for the no Evan again.
Yeah.
I think we're messing
Again.
this up.
No, Evan always picks
The
twice. I always
Las
pick twice.
Vegas
I
Raiders.
just pick in the middle of you guys all the time.
Wow.
This is a no-brainer pick, Evan.
What?
Kellen Mond.
I think since John Gruden and Mike Mack are doing a bang-up job this offseason of just getting rid of everybody, they kind of need everything. But the biggest need is their offensive line, and I see a decent tackle from USC, Vera Tucker. So I think that will be the pick at 17.
I like it.
Certainly not flashy. Dolphins back on the clock. Grant, who would you take first for them? Devonta Smith, and I hated that pick. So now I can redeem the Dolphins for us.
Do it.
And I think they take a slam dunk Christian Barmore.
So they're
from
Roll
Bama.
Tide City.
They're Tide guys.
They are Alabama South because they're actually south of Bama, which is wild. Okay, 19th. We have the Washington football team.
Kellen Mond.
Needs a QB, but I think that's a reach. Wide out, tight end, tackle, LB.
Oh, I love one pick here.
I'm gonna take Jeremiah
Great
Owusu
pick.
Koromoa for them. And I know Rashad Bateman. We're looking at the same draft board.
It's a great pick.
I don't know if I personally think Rashad's that high, and I also think they have like Terry McLaurin and Antonio Gibson. So I think they probably need to help their linebacking core better than adding to the wide receiver room or skill position room, I should say.
But granted, you could have had the same colors in college and in the NFL.
No, I do like to do that. And then now
That's disappointing.
I see the Birds at 20. Allen Robinson is back. Okay, so now I don't know what I think about that.
Go with the hometown guy.
Cornerback.
Chicago to Chicago, Brad. Come on.
Yeah, I see the name you're looking at. I'm going to go. I'll give Rashad Bateman to them. Let's just pour into the offense and, maybe you make the talent around the quarterback so good that it can't be denied.
Sorry, I was texting.
Yeah, I know.
I was texting our guest who doesn't know how he's going to talk to us later, and I think it's important that he knows.
Oh, good. I took Rashad Bateman.
I heard your analysis.
The Bears.
That goes Go Bears. Go Bears. Goes back to you.
Stole my pick for the Colts at 21, which hurts.
Michael Pitts.
Michael Pittman
Michael Pittman.
and 50-year-old T.Y. Is he still there?
Who's the other guy's name?
Yeah, he signed a 1-year.
Who's the other guy's name? Zach Pascal.
Yeah, they need a receiver, but I think the first Michigan man comes off the board. Quiddy Pay goes to the Colts here.
Dude, I love that for that defense.
I think they would. I mean, they're already great
Evan, you
defense.
stop it. Quiddy Pay's disgusting.
Quiddy would fit in there nicely, I think.
He's a great player. He just wasn't used
He
right.
did so much stuff against Michigan.
He
State.
wasn't
Yeah,
used
dude.
great.
It's not always about Michigan State, Evan. We can't do that. Grant hates that.
He wasn't used great at Michigan. Shop to the staff and he got hurt. But
Michigan
he's awesome.
coaches don't develop talent. It's okay. Whoa! Holy chop! Let's relax,
Developed
Alex.
plenty of talent.
Like who? Shea Patterson,
This
the
is about
number one
this is
quarterback
about
in the land.
It's about the NFL draft. I don't want to derail the draft, but they've developed talent. But you can get in your
Evan, you're
Quick
drafting
shots.
for your team. Look at that.
Go Titans, tighten up, baby. They do need a wide receiver. I think it's too early for them to get a wide receiver. This is a run first offense, so the defense was bad last year.
Evan, you could have had a
We needed an
dream
edge
rebel
rusher.
combination.
It also just looks like that every team in the draft says they need like a cornerback. Does anyone else feel that way? Every
yeah,
time
but
I look,
I hear the cornerback class isn't deep enough this year.
there's a lot of them, dude. There's there's 3 that I
I'm
would
going to
take.
go down a little bit. They need an
Oh,
edge
no.
rusher. They need somebody coming off the edge. And so I think the Titans are going to go with Jalen Phillips from Miami.
I've heard he's the most talented edge rusher in the draft.
He's a little
Quiddy?
raw. He's kind of
Well, we just went
only
back
like
to
one
back
or
edge
two
rushers.
like trick pony where he'll just do a swim most of the time. But he's quick. He's athletic. I think he'll fit the scheme.
And now you're back on the clock for the Jets.
Get Zach
With
Wilson
the
some help. man.
Jets.
Get Zach Wilson some help.
Also, I haven't been scrolling down at all. I just look at the top names. I haven't gone down the board really at all.
I love number.
You might be
28.
missing out. Here we go. Pick 23. I think now with Robert Sala there, I think the Jets will go with Caleb Farley to shore up the defensive side.
He was a top
Here.
10 projected at one point, so it's quite the fall for him.
Injury prevailed him, and sitting out for like the second half of the year. I think he opted out like halfway through the year.
So now you get the Urs,
Just one second. Let me refer to my residential experts.
the Stillers.
The Steelers.
So our residential Pittsburgh expert says running back or O lineman, and his hopeful pick is a running back
In the first round. So
in the first round. So I'm strictly going to draft.
they do because they got.
I'm going to draft for him, and I'm going to do what he wants, not really what I want.
What a reach this would be.
No, I can't do it. I just looked at what he's ranked. Sorry, it's not happening. They're drafting Walker Little from Stanford, tackle.
Snooze fest. Oh,
For those wondering, he wanted Travis Etienne, but he's ranked 66 on this big board, and I feel like that is just way too big of a reach.
Hey, those wondering, Alex, Walker Little will not get drafted in the first round. He tore his Achilles, hasn't played in like 3 years. He hasn't seen the football field.
That's tough. He shouldn't have been
He
ranked
would-
so high on this board for me to guess on a tackle that I don't know about. But congrats, Steelers. I don't like your fan base anyways.
Whoa.
whoa. All right. Except for our resident expert
Yeah, no, I have friends.
and his friends. Okay, we're back to Jacksonville. This is where I'm gonna go not by position. I'm gonna take because when I think about the Jaguars, I think a stout defense. So I'm going to take Jason Owe from the Big Ten, edge rusher out of Penn State, pair him with Allen, their other edge rusher, and we're gonna bring back the bad boys Jaguar defense. You know? Saxonville, yes. Because they already got a QB. There's no tight end good enough here. I don't need to explain my
They
pick.
could pair a corner with Henderson.
Now I go back with the Browns. Who are the Browns? Different episode, but Browns might be doing some things this year.
They need
in
a third
the
running back.
National Football League. So it says they need defense, really.
Offense is pretty short up. Maybe a weapon.
So it says they don't need secondary help, although there are some good secondary players here.
They could use a corner.
All right,
Well-
I'm gonna take Asante Samuel Jr. because
Ooh.
his dad played in the league and he's awesome.
All right. As long as you're good with that analysis, go for it.
He's gonna be good.
So now I'm drafting for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, this is a slam dunk pick. If you don't take 2 guys here, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Well, the receiving core consists of a lot of nobodies and Marquise Brown. He's small.
Who is pretty good. Not for fantasy football though.
And a guy has fallen quite a bit, but he's a slot receiver. So do I really want another slot receiver for the Ravens? No. But then the next receiver is also a slot guy, so it's kind of getting tough. And then the third one's a slot guy. So now I don't know. So I'm just going to go with who I think is going to be the best and the flashiest, and I'm really basing it off of his school. So Terrence Marshall Jr. to the Ravens.
It's the guy I liked. Nice.
Now, Evan, you can just take a receiver too.
If you want.
You might have another receiver after
Good
that.
receiver, basically. Yeah, I got the Saints and Packers back to back. So the Saints need a linebacker, but they run more of a 4-3 and a couple
Because we took Anzalone.
darn
We
thing
love
about
Anzalone.
Nick Bolton. Great.
No,
Xavier
Nick
Collins,
Bolton.
linebacker, is 3-4. I am gonna go.
Jabril Peppers.
Project-
I heard Jamin Davis is really good from Kentucky.
I heard Najee Harris is decent to pair with Alvin Kamara.
That would be so dumb.
I'm gonna have the
Running back's going to go first.
Saints drafting Kadarius Tooney.
Wow.
Tony.
I don't care what his name is.
Sorry,
pronounced.
that
So
was-
why did you say no? Not 2 O's.
But yeah, I mean,
Wow.
it's Tony.
That's a lot of speed.
It's electric. Hopefully it doesn't turn out like John Ross
Who's the guy they have that they always say each year is gonna like break out? Starts with a T.
on the Saints.
Yeah.
Traquan Smith.
Yeah.
He has 1 touchdown every year, and they think
Yeah.
it's his year.
Yep.
All right, Evan, now take Elijah Moore. I mean, a receiver. I mean, whoever you want.
Take a quarterback.
Uh,
Let's put some pressure on A-Rod.
this is the Packers. Are we surely going to draft a wide receiver?
No, I'm not convinced.
And I don't think they will. I really don't.
They
think
hate
will. I
Aaron
think-
Rodgers. They hate him.
They want to replace their.
Honestly, you should take a quarterback.
they want to replace the linebacker that left, Blake Martinez.
You're going
Two
to
years
replace
ago.
him with
Yeah, but they may be like we need
Nick
them.
Bolton or Zaven Collins. Or maybe you want
Or
to dig
Jamin
deeper,
Davis.
or Antoine
Or
Simmons.
Jabril Cox. There's a lot of linebackers on the board.
Antoine Simmons, the shock of the first round.
There are. Here's the pick. There are edge rushers that they signed a couple years ago are kind of washed. I'm gonna have them drafting Xavier Collins.
Zaven.
Zaven.
It's
I mean, you're
body
butchering
by
names
enough.
tonight.
Xavier.
It's Zaven.
From Tulsa?
How did he do against Michigan State 2 years ago? Yeah, he's from Tulsa.
Zaven. I'm looking at it right
Congrats,
now.
Zaven, on the draft pick. Sorry about the name. So I have the Bills here, and I'm going to go a different route than maybe you guys would think.
So you're gonna not just take their need with a guy that's fallen from 20?
Nope. I am going what I think is a need because Devin Singletary stinks, and that Moss kid stinks. So Najee Harris to the Bills.
So you're reaching over the Javon. North Carolina had 2 running backs that were supposed to be this good, and I didn't know about
Najee
it.
Harris to the Bills. There's no way a running back falls out of the first round. Very possible. I shouldn't say there's no way, but
You
on the
said it.
Bills, You had no running back all year, and you were still like near the Super Bowl.
All right, let's see here for the Chiefs, the Super Bowl appearing Chiefs. So they need a tackle, a guard, or an edge rusher.
O-line.
I don't know anything about the tackles left, so I'm going to take the highest one, Tevin Jenkins, over the guy from Dylan Reduns from North Dakota State. Yeah, they need an offensive line help.
Jenkins is an absolute mauler in the run game, Grant.
Yeah, let's get that. Let's get CEH going. And then we'll end the first round. So they need a QB. That's a slap in the face.
Well,
to
they
Tom.
do.
Terrific.
Tom can't play forever.
Yes, he can.
I've seen quarterback mocks here quite a
Ooh,
bit.
I got it. Dude, let's just make it their secondary incredible. It says it's a need for them. Elijah Molden out of Washington, a ball hawk. Watch his
Really
game
good.
tape. Pair him with Winfield and Murphy Bunting, and they are hunting.
I'm not sure they
And
needed him,
the-
but
It
wow,
says
our
they need a
selection
safety.
said we did really good. Let's go through which ones were bad.
Okay, let's just find the worst ones. Well, I
Buffalo
guess
Bills.
find the A pluses that are like outside of the top 10. I see Mac Jones was an A plus for
Christian Barmore, A+. Wow, look at me.
my safety
Shout out
pick.
me. Trey Lance, A+. Holy, I'm great at drafting.
Ooh, Evan, they said reached for Jalen Phillips for his Titan team, but that's okay.
I reached big time for Najee
Listen,
Harris as expected.
I reached for Asante Samuel.
I mean, I'm pretty happy with
Oh
how I
my!
drafted.
Whoa, we're burying the lead. We got a B minus for Michael Parsons.
Oh, well, Devontae Smith, B Grant. I
yeah,
told you.
but we were a B minus.
Bad pick for you. You're a bad drafter.
Well, you'll see. You'll see when
They hated
Devonta Smith.
Rashawn Slater at 11, and I think that's his like. I think that's
Well,
where
they
he's
don't
ranked.
know. They don't know.
They don't know.
They like
They don't
J.C.
know.
Horn, and I thought it might have been early. So shout out Evan,
Thank you.
and they liked Elijah Vera Tucker, which I didn't even know who that was.
Pretty good tackle. All right, so that's the NFL draft.
Walker Little, A-, Evan. Come on.
Based off of the grade, but he hasn't played in 3 years. He's like a second round pick.
Yeah, these things matter.
These things matter. This
so-
is the NFL draft.
So tune in for next week when we do just straight Lions full draft with trades involved.
7-round mocker.
And we'll see.
7
how it
rounds
goes.
of hard-hitting Detroit Lion analysis.
So with the draft there, that encompasses the whole show because, I mean, the draft is just a beast, so we need to get through that. And with that being said, to close out as always, we ask you to please follow our social accounts at Shot of MS for Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, at Shot of Michigan Sports for TikTok, shotofmichigansports@gmail.com for our Gmail. The socials are the best place to watch video clips, like, interact with us, DM, all that good stuff. Email is really good for any business opportunities, questions to send to the show. And then we ask, if you're listening on Apple Pods, Spotify, YouTube, where you can hear this show and watch it or see it, to rate and review on all of those platforms. Subscribe if the platform allows it. That really helps. Leave 5-star reviews, good comments, and share the link to this latest episode with a friend. See what they think about our draft picks. See what you think, where we did right or wrong. Sound off about those things on social media. We can get a good draft debate going. Is what the draft does. Lastly, to make it more interactive, submit any questions you want answered for the show. Could be about sports, life, anything, whatever you need, we'll answer it for you. And with that being said, we will close this out for episode 16. Cheers to the NFL draft.
Cheers to a successful week.
Cheers to the Tigers, game tomorrow.